Let's get this party started here in the Manila, the Philippines. Welcome everybody. Greece taking on USA in Group C, game day two, excuse me, the FIBA Basketball World Cup. And when you look at the names, Greece and USA, it's inescapable. We know what you're thinking about. Certainly if you are a fan in Greece, and probably if you like international basketball in America like we know that you do, you will also be thinking about that game back in 2006 when Greece upset the United States in the semifinals of the FIBA Basketball World Cup. But of course, USA have won the big games against them since, and they are looking primed for a run to the title here in Manila. This is going to be their first big test. I'm Jeff Taylor, joined by Mike Taylor. We're not brothers, but we are brothers with a different mother. Is that right? Different father as well.
Brothers in basketball, Jeff, and what a great seat we have for this matchup. Both teams took care of business in their first game day, and now the first test for both USA and Greece. They met in preparation. What did they learn from that preparation game? What can they carry over here? I think this is for control of this group, setting themselves up moving forward.
Steve Kerr is the head coach, and there's the most popular USA player in Manila, without a doubt. Austin Reeves, the Los Angeles Lakers. A lot of Lakers fans in Manila. So whenever he steps onto the court, there's always a big roar. USA winning convincingly, yet pushed really hard by New Zealand. In the first game, it was a really fun game to watch. And Greece, meanwhile, won decisively in the end against Jordan as well, but Jordan played very well. And now they go up against the number 2 team in the FIBA World Ranking, the United States, the team that is trailing only Spain. And who knows, maybe after this FIBA Basketball World Cup, the USA will go back to the top of the FIBA World Ranking presented by Nike. Greece, not too shabby themselves. They come into this at number 9 in the FIBA World Ranking. So it's a big time basketball tradition in Greece. They have a lot of aims. They don't have Dino Mitoglu. He's gone home with a finger injury, not coming back, so they've got 11 players for the rest of the tournament. That's a blow, but Mike, this is what it's all about. This is why you have these long preparations to get ready for the games like this.
Number 9 in the world, experience, size, length, skill. It's the next challenge for USA, and it is for control of this group. This is going to be fantastic. We got a packed house, and I can't wait to see this game tip off.
Crucial game. You know, you need to finish in the top 2 to move on to the second round. Both these teams already have the one win. New Zealand winning in overtime earlier today, 95-87 against Jordan. What a game that was. I mean, the hair on the back of my neck is still standing up from that one. 4-point play, tying it late from Rondae Hollis-Jefferson. So you see New Zealand have gone to the top of the standings for now, Group C. USA and Greece following in Jordan, despite 2 really solid performances from Jordan. They're down at the bottom, but you know what? This is the FIBA Basketball World Cup. Nothing comes easy. So we're going to pause now for the playing of the national anthems for both the USA and Greece.
Please remain standing for the national anthem of Greece.
Well, here we go, folks. National anthems, done and dusted, sung with a lot of vim and vigor. USA, Greece, and these players know each other. They've already squared off once in the buildup, as Mike alluded to, USA winning that game. But this is the one that really counts. And this is the one where the USA, I'm sure, are acutely aware of the dangers that lie in front of them tonight. I'm pretty sure they're going to be locked in, Mike, as are these guys right here. Manuel Mazzoni on the left from Italy. The crew chief is going to be Antonio Conde from Spain, and Daniel Garcia from Venezuela on the right. And we'll get a look at the starting fives. It'll be interesting to see if we stick with the same starting fives.
I think they will. That's been kind of the build-up. I think that they're trying to create those roles. But let's see what Coach Kerr has in mind for this game against Greece.
Okay, Mikal Bridges, Brandon Ingram, Anthony Edwards, Jalen Brunson, and Jaren Jackson Jr. with Halliburton, Johnson, Banchero, who was sensational against New Zealand, Portis Jr., Hart, Kessler, and Austin Reeves, who would win a popularity contest here in Manila. And Ant-Man, here he is, just terrific performance. You know, even though he wasn't maybe at his best against New Zealand, he made his presence felt.
And let's remember, that was his first World Cup game, so he has the expectations of being a go-to player. I'm sure he's going to be more focused in this game today, and I think he's going to have some athletic advantages to attack against this Greek team. And
Banchero was sensational. I mean, he was the best player on the court the other night, and he was honored with the TCL MVP of the game.
And he's important for this rotation. He gives them a defender at the 5 that can switch. He's important for their lineups. Let's see how he is used at the 5 or the 4 tonight against Greece.
Not bad for Steve Kerr, 9 times NBA champion as a player and a coach. Probably could have had a few more, but I think most people would settle for that.
But you got to just, you love the way he commands respect, but you love the way he communicates. Again, just outstanding, top world-class coach.
Yeah, amazing. Won the title with the USA as well at the World Cup many years ago. Thomas Walkup, the naturalized Greek. Yorgos Papagiannis, Big Papa, Kostas Papanikolaou, Thanasis Antetokounmpo, Emmanuel Hatzidakis in the starting 5 tonight. Rok Kavapoulos, Lutzis, Larentzakis, Moraitis, Lefteris Bokoridis, Jonas Papapetrou. And you saw the name of Mitoglu, but he is not here. He has had to go home, unfortunately. So Greece without arguably the most important big. Thomas Walkup.
Thomas Walkup has been so impressive as a primary point guard, primary ball handler. He plays at his own speed. It'll be important for him to play at his own speed against the ball pressure, not get sped up by the United States ball pressure and defense.
And Thanasis Antetokounmpo.
He's the one Greek player that can match the USA athletically. It'll be very interesting to see how he can impact this game, especially if they go to a smaller lineup and look to play him more as a 5.
You think his brothers are watching tonight? There's Dimitris Itoudis,
and
the head coach.
Let's see how he game plans for Team USA. But I'll say this, there's going to be some trash talk in that Milwaukee Bucks locker room with Bobby Portis Jr. and Antetokounmpo for sure.
Well, just like opening night, the crowd has packed the Mall of Asia for this game. The fans were already treated to an overtime classic between New Zealand and Jordan before this one, won by New Zealand, and now the main event, Greece and USA.
Thomas with Edwards, Bob is with Ingram, Tanasi, you got Bridges. Although they don't use a lot of screen and rolls or pick and pops with him, that would be a switch, also indirect. In case they have something, it's almost switch because he's not rolling. So that's what I'm saying, it's going to be an X. And we got the high avoid with Ichi. Over here, if they go on the block, we're going to go 11. Now, let's go to the first offense, and then second is going to be 2 down 12. Second is going to be 2 down 12, but I'm saying on the first, because as we work on the morning session, timing. It's important also that the 4 men, first of all, Papanikolaou is going to go all the way to the corner when it's already Thomas. But you Tanasi, you got to send the ball somewhere here. The reason is because I want you to go to here and choke and give it space for Papagiannis to come. So over here we got them in. So eventually, when they meet, you go for the pin down and we play for this. But attack and throw him to dunk the ball. Bruce is going to be already over here. They do down 12, we know it also the time. Okay? Hey.
So, Mike, what do you think about Greece? Obviously, they're not thinking about 2006, but I guarantee you every single one of those players has watched that game. The only time Greece have beaten the USA at the World Cup.
They probably, used it as motivation for the team right now. But look at the detail in game plan from Coach Itoudis, offensively, defensively, matchups. I mean, these guys are well prepared for this game. And that's the beauty of this challenge for USA. This is a high-level, experienced FIBA team, and we've got an inexperienced USA roster. So how do they make that next step? How efficient can they be? I just think it's a great group stage game here in Manila.
Well, you saw that graphic. Greece, or rather USA, have won 4 of their 5 World Cup meetings against Greece, but you never know.
Papagiannis takes the floor. It was reported.
It was supposed to be Hatzidakis.
Hatzidakis is
so
not out there.
And I'm wondering if...
It must have been a late change.
Yeah, sometimes you see and then the coach makes a mistake and they have to put Hatzidakis in. I'm confused now. So Lucis goes out and Hatzidakis comes in. So USA, whether they like it or not, Greece are going big. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Mall of Asia here in Manila. The Philippines, the FIBA Basketball World Cup clash between the United States and Greece is underway. Greece winning the opening tip and attacking the basket to the right, and Thomas Walkup puts Greece in front.
And this is a great matchup for Jaren Jackson Jr. against a traditional 5 Papagiannis. Both players will likely be in drop pick and roll coverage. Walk up with a skillful floater in the lane.
Here's Ingram, drives in, trying to go in for the dunk, and traveling on Ingram, the New Orleans Pelicans star.
And again, we saw some travels in the first game. USA must be efficient as there's the quick sub into the game for Greece. We've got to get through that situation so we are more efficient and avoid those travels.
So assuming that was definitely a mistake to make a substitution like that quickly with Lucis coming in. Here's Walkup. Lucis gets in the paint, a little runner for him as well, and he banks it in.
Again, in the FIBA game, the drop pick and roll coverage is difficult because guards have no ball pressure at the point of attack.
There's Big Jackson Jr. banking in his first.
And this is a game for him matchup-wise. Great start for Jaren Jackson Jr.
Thomas Walkup getting in, and the follow from Big Papa. Nobody boxes him out.
So as the challenge was made, you've got to have a veer back switch and get into the body of the big man diving.
Brunson tries to get in. Ball goes out of bounds.
Here's the replay. You can see Spain pick and roll action. The big engages on the ball. One of the perimeters, the guard, has to get into the body of the big to prevent the offensive rebound putback.
Jackson, well, we've seen him a little bit closer to the basket. Now he gets a long rebound. And Edwards, he misses. Antetokounmpo pushed by Ingram, and foul called on Ingram. You know what's amazing when you think about, and this is the beauty of national team basketball. Jalen Brunson, as you look at the foul there, MVP of the 2015 Under-19 Basketball World Cup, and Heraklion played against Luntsis of Greece in the semifinals of that tournament. Here they are now playing for the senior teams. Luntsis gets it over to Papanikolaou. Papanikolaou for three, and doesn't drop. Also, Big Papa is in that game. And the drive, and the basket is good from Mikal Bridges.
What an outstanding finish. Got right to the rim, but changed the timing of his release right at the basket. Beautiful for Bridges.
Greece still up by 2. Papanikolaou tried to get it to Big Papa. Now he gets it back in the ball, knocked out of his hands by Brunson. Brandon Ingram strokes the three, and the USA are in front.
Very good floor spacing. Great unselfish pass. Edwards to Ingram. Buries the three. USA excels in transition.
Walkup again, another runner.
So Walkup must have ball pressure. Cannot get rejected in the pick and roll. That puts Jackson Jr. in a very difficult position defensively.
Ingram looking for space. And Jackson picks it up. Jackson not able to turn, gets it to Ingram for three. He gets blocked on the perimeter from Big Papa. Now up to Papanikolaou, and the kick from Brunson. And why didn't Papanikolaou just take it all the way?
Unselfish play. Again, great defense from Jalen Brunson, reading the passing lane and allowing USA to set their defense here. But again, USA's got to be a little more efficient with their game offensively. Greece really starting this game with intensity on the defensive end.
Brunson already making a couple of plays on defense. Luntsis. And there, another putback attempt, but Jackson denies him from behind. Now Brunson drives in strong and scores.
I mean, that's textbook attacking the rim in transition, protected the ball, got right to the rim and finished. Beautiful from Brunson.
Walkup. Pulls it back out. Here's Big Papa. Little jump hook. And that's not going to be blocked.
Bridges has to do a better job of directing Walkup one way. Walkup really doing a great job there, creating space and separation. Nice finish from Papagiannis.
Jackson banks it in. Well, it is Monday after all. The bank is open.
I mean,
although at nighttime it has to be internet banking. But he'll take it. Jackson, think he meant to use the bank on that?
No.
What's this? An offensive foul, moving screen on Papagiannis.
And Jeff, even though there's a moving screen there, I would love to see USA defenders do a better job directing the ball handler, sending him one way to help their big man in pick and roll coverage, get it more under control.
USA trying to create some separation here. They're up 2. Brunson in the lane.
Jeff, he's so good in the paint. Did you see the change of speeds, the acceleration, and quick finish? Outstanding.
Walk up over to Papagiannis. Has to have a low dribble. Again, he puts it up and scores. Well, he's playing tonight, isn't he? We haven't really seen him do it as well as this summer.
Skillful.
Brunson, again from him. He's come out firing tonight, folks. Papagiannis for three, that's sure. Oh no, it's good. Wow.
So again, they've got to recognize the shooting ability for Papagiannis as a 5. Great pick and pop.
Brunson out to Edwards. Edwards high off the glass.
So athletic, great body control, and beautiful left-hand finish. Edwards.
Well, they had no choice because Papagiannis was there. Here's Walkup. Back to Papagiannis, right at the line. Count it! And Big Papa is coming out with a big game tonight.
So now we see USA must find a way to have coverage on that shooting 5.
We'll turn around from Ant-Man. Here comes Luncic, open floor. He's going to go baseline. Now into Papagiannis. Little fade this time. Antetokounmpo with the rebound. He goes right up and gets blocked by Jackson. Ingram has it knocked out of his hands by Walkup. And now quickly, they're not going to block this. Oh, he does. Unbelievable block from Jackson. Greece won a foul. Edwards.
Jeff, end-to-end action here at Mall of Asia Arena.
Jackson, rim protection tonight already. I think he's got at least 2 blocks.
He has 2 in the last 2 possessions.
Walk up, gets it off just in the nick of time, misses everything. Mikal Bridges, he nails the 3.
So if you're Greece, you've got to get back and play transition defense because the United States are pushing the ball.
And a push called on Edwards.
It looked like he pushed Papa Nicolau into
that block.
Unbelievable block. Jaren Jackson Jr. made some fantastic block, and that is a great block.
He goes out and a deserved rest, and there's no reprieve at all for Greece with that happening because look who comes in. Banchero.
And now Banchero comes in to try to help the mobility defensively at the 5 spot for USA, but Coach Itutis switches Antetokounmpo now to a 5.
Oh, they get it to Papa Nicolau. USA slow to react on defense. They brought in 4 new players. Reeves, Halliburton, Banchero, and Hart. So Greece.
Sneak attack, Jeff.
Here's Reeves, the roar from the crowd, and he is fouled by Papa Nicolau.
So one of the challenges for the Greek team defensively will be those one-on-one isolations. The USA has several players who are able individually to create their own shots. Reeves puts it on the floor and is fouled in the pull-up jump shot.
Now Papa Petru has come in, the captain, as has Larentzakis, who's been one of Greece's best players. Great story. Edwards goes out, and Cam Johnson comes into the game. Number 6. And if you're Greece, you obviously have a lot of floor to cover with these guys. They can spread it and shoot it, And sure enough, when you do guard them, they're going to go to the basket.
And I think Coach Steve Kerr and his staff are going to target some of these Greek defenders to try to create matchups that benefit the United States offense.
Here's Larentzakis. He played well against the USA in the warm-up game. Here's Papapetru. Outside, gets it back. Oh, in the end, he got blocked by Halliburton. And good read from Papanikolaou to get a hand on it. But how about that? You've got a point guard playing down low and getting the block on Papapetru here.
Well, if you look, they're in the switching coverages now, and Banchero stepped in to help. And again, this is great length from Halliburton. Just like the first game, USA goes to the smaller lineup switching with Banchero.
The tenacious Hart on Walkup. Papapetru against Banchero. Papapetru turnaround, gets it up. And again, no joy for Papapetru. Here's Banchero, and his pass kind of got away from him. And then Hart runs into Walkup, who cleverly kind of turned into him.
So, Jeff, defensively, USA switching. When they get stops, it's critical that these players run the floor with lane discipline and spacing. You've got players that maybe are similar in size and similar in position on the defensive side, but they've got to space the floor to give themselves a clear picture. That time, they pushed it, and it ended up in a turnover because they were a little bit disorganized.
Interesting that Cam Johnson goes out immediately, and they bring Mikal Bridges back in.
Again, running the floor without lane discipline.
Here's Walkup. Greece will try to take the last shot. Antetokounmpo from the top of the key. And that's how a fast and furious first quarter finishes with a missed jumper from Thanasis Antetokounmpo. USA lead it 23-19 against Greece in the battle for first place in Group C.
Looking at the numbers, 3 for 5 from 3, mostly in transition. A couple turnovers hurt USA, but again, they'll see they're out rebounding Greece 9-5 as well. Nice start for Greece. Papagiannis in the post.
Walkup coming out immediately and kind of settling Greece down with that shot. And Jackson had an outstanding start as well. Here was another one from Walkup. Missing it, but there was the follow.
So this is the point for USA. Get your defensive stops and convert in transition. Just keep it coming the whole game. Beautiful finish there. You see these guys penetrating and making plays for themselves or their teammates. This is your advantage. Play with pace. There's the intelligent attack as USA struggled to match up. What a great first quarter.
Well, you can scan in that barcode to get courtside 1891 in your smartphone so you can watch the video stream, schedule scores of this FIBA Basketball World Cup and read all kinds of interesting features or see the features. Everything you need. Courtside 1891, an essential item for this FIBA Basketball World Cup. So Cam Johnson comes back in the game, so I can only assume they wanted Bridges out there for his defense at the end of the first quarter. Second quarter action underway in the Mall of Asia here in the Philippines. The USA leading it by 4. Cam Johnson. Banchero. Johnson back to Banchero. who goes in, and a foul called.
Really good teamwork and cooperation there with Johnson and Banchero. Ended up in an empty corner pick and roll. Excellent job from Greece contesting on that play.
So Paolo Banchero goes to the free throw line. Played 1 year at Duke. Mike Krzyzewski's last year at Duke. Mike Krzyzewski, the former USA coach from 2006 FIBA Basketball World Cup, all the way through to the Popovich era, through 2016 Olympics, and he makes both, and it's a 6-point lead. Rock Kavopoulos has checked into the game as well, number 1. Keep an eye on him. Had some terrific seasons in Greece. He's going to play in Spain next year for Baskonia.
Again, switching and fixing the matchup well there, USA.
There is Big Papa over to Papa Petru, and he nails the 3.
Great teamwork from Greece, attacking the switches together.
And quickly Hart, oh, look at the handoff to Johnson. There's Zakas. Oh, and Moraitis trying to get the bounce pass to Papagiannis, but it goes out of bounds. Cam Johnson, well, living dangerously, giving him the open looks. And again, he gets denied with the reverse. Hart gets after it. Johnson makes a pass while sitting down.
Have you seen 2 players make consecutive passes while sitting down ever? That's amazing.
Feels like Cam Johnson is maybe just in a little bit of a rush to get his first 2 points. And look at Austin Reeves come up with the D, and now he's going to leak out, and he's going to go up for the dunk! Much to the delight of this crowd.
Jeff, look at how many fist pumps and shirt waves. This is a fan favorite. I said it last game, he's a one-man momentum builder. Austin Reeves, steal, run the floor. 2-hand finish.
It feels like every part of his game has been underrated. His defense, his offense, you name it. I mean, he's just taking Manila by storm. Timeout. Let's go down and try to listen in on the coach.
Listen to me. 2 offensive rebounds of them, they got it on your hands. What the fuck we're talking about now? You had the ball. Grab the fucking ball, man. They go more decisive on the ball. Then, we got Papa Petru over here. He wants to play, but we are static. Only Larry is coming over here. Why we don't have a cut on a move? You drive the ball. God fucking damn it, this massive. They're big. We had a very good play that Papa Petru scored a 3-pointer because we kicked the ball out. Pass the ball out. Listen, we have ex-defense, but not with the Moraitis immediately. Στο κέρ, εδώ που τα κάνει ρε ο παίκτης. Η πάσα ίσου, αφού κάνει κομμή το ψηλός, κάνει τη jump switch.
Mike, my respect for Coach Itutis just went up a little bit after that. Papagiannis, 11 points, 4-5.
Demetrius Itutis with the intensity, the coaching, the details. Again, wants them to kick the ball out off penetration. He wants them to play stronger. The athletic advantage for USA needs strong plays to minimize it.
And Zakas, how about that right at the line? Much
Beautiful.
Better. And back to a 3-point game. I think he felt like he really challenged him in that timeout.
And it's a great response from the team. They are locked in. Sometimes that's what it takes. He found the right words for the guys.
Well, we don't want to repeat those, but yes, they were definitely the right words. Austin Reeves. And Rokovopoulos whistled for the foul.
One of the key advantages that the USA can capitalize on is rebounding out of their area. Again, this can be something that is important as shots go up on both ends of the floor. They have the athletic advantage. They've got to be active and use it. And this is what Coach Atutis is trying to eliminate. Hey, grab the ball, be strong. We can't give up those extra plays, extra possessions.
Hatzidakis has come in for Papagiannis. Halliburton fouled. And Hart, and getting up in the face, or Larentzakis getting up in the face of Hart, who shoved Larentzakis away, and I'm not sure that the referee saw that shove.
But Jeff, I want to tell you, and here's the drive. They got good floor spacing, and this is the challenge for Greece. There will be matchups one-on-one. USA can attack. Here's an example. But I just want to say about Josh Hart, he is really underrated on this USA team. He plays both ends. He hits shots. He's the prototypical 3-and-D guy and super physical for the FIBA game.
So USA with a 5-point lead. Greece need to keep the scoreboard ticking over here against the Americans. Rokovopoulos, goes in and out. Here goes Halliburton, and Rokovopoulos got a hand on it. Look at him. And USA diving on the floor for the loose ball. Goes off the foot. The hustle's there, but it's going to be Greek possession.
So you love the pace. They need to have floor spacing, and they need to make simple, strong plays. Greece is going to contest. They're going to defend. They're going to compete. USA's got to be a little cleaner with their decisions and execution.
Oh, boy, they let Mauraitis go right down, and Banchero got the swat, but a foul has been called.
Are you kidding me? What an unbelievable block. So they had the ghost action, miscommunication at the point of attack, and what a block from Banchero.
And I think it's unfortunate that the foul was called there because, first of all, he was as high as the top of the backboard, but it did look like Mauraitis was able to kind of stick his left arm out. And you know what they say?
The ball doesn't lie.
Or don't lie, if you like contractions.
Well, no matter what, USA needs to clean up their pick and roll coverage. And how about Banchero cleaning up the mistake with a great shot block?
Well, I've seen enough from Banchero the first 2 games to know that he's one of the main men in this USA team. He is sensational. Here he is. He gets it to Austin Reeves. Shaking and baking on the baseline. And the foul called. He's so good that he gets fouled shooting jump shots. I mean, that's how worried they are about that man right there, Austin Reeves.
Look at the pull-up. This is the second time he's put it on the floor into the pull-up and drawn fouls.
I mean, to be fair, that was pretty good defense as well. So
yeah, and I just want to say this. Sometimes when you have an all-star game or an all-star team situation, it's difficult in terms of working together for shot selection because everybody can go get a good shot. Everybody can go create something for themselves. I think it's important for the United States not only to create, but create good shots together.
Great atmosphere here in the Mall of Asia with Greece and the USA. USA up 6 points. Early second quarter. Mauraitis pulls in, and his attempt rattles out.
Really
Hart.
good defensive possession from Hart there.
Hart rebounds and runs, and unbelievable.
I mean, take over, Josh Hart, coast to coast.
That was a matrix move. Floating through the air and laying it up and in. Larentzakis. And now a little bit of separation for the USA. Banchero. So Papanicolaou's going to come back in. And again, look at him. Watch what he does in the air. Thank you very much. I mean, nobody's challenging him at the rim.
Josh Hart, underrated for this team. He switched on a big. He defended in the paint. On the drive, he challenged a shot. He got the rebound. He dribbled coast to coast and finished the play. I mean, that's a lot for one guy to do on one play right there.
That is, Mike. Biggest lead of the game for the USA, up 10 points on Greece in the battle for first place in Group C. Papapetru into Hatzidakis, out to Papanicolaou. Tough shot from the corner, and Austin Reeves able to come up with the basketball and stay in bounds. Austin Reeves finds Halliburton in the corner. USA players running everywhere and finishing it off with the dunk from Banchero.
For that possession, Greece got stuck with two players on the ball on two consecutive times. Reeves makes the pass to the corner, a little bit off target. USA patient, and what a beautiful finish, dropping it off. Banchero sitting in the baseline, easy two.
Thomas. How many fouls they make? How to make fouls? We don't force them to make fouls. We don't cause anything. We're just shooting the ball, contested shots. We're not making any moves. You want the play of force clear to get Reeves on you, and you stop the dribble. Why you pick up your dribble? You got Reeves, so attack him, goddammit. So let's get again the fist four push where we have the pin down. So Larry, you are over here. This is Papanicolaou. You're gonna go over here, Thomas, and after the handoff, we're gonna play.
Well, that was one of the better offenses of the USA.
Again,
and they get a layup or a dunk.
But how many fantastic passes has Halliburton made in these two games? Probing into the lane, attracting all the attention, and then another no look, this time dropping it off. Fun to watch, Jeff. Fun to watch.
6 points for Paolo Banchero. Walkup back in the game. Arantzakis. And Lutzis missing it from deep.
Good offense there for Greece, though.
Ooh, Reeves goes behind his back. And wide open Halliburton, and they're not missing right now. They have stretched their lead to 15.
Floor spacing, penetration, drawing defenders, making the easy play. Great job, Reeves.
Papagiannis. And going up against Banchero, who can defend anybody, it seems like. Here's Reeves, wide open. Look at that, Hart has it taken away and a foul called.
Jeff, people want to cheer for Reeves. They want to cheer for Edwards. But a team needs someone to do the dirty work, and here we see the effort and heart from Josh Hart. Very impressive.
Well, it was a battle, but look at this. 23-19 at the end of the first quarter. USA have now outscored Greece 19-6 here in the second. And Josh Hart, 5 rebounds to go with his 4 points. Papanikolaou driving in, and the foul on Reeves, and that was the instructions from the coach. Drive to the basket.
Yeah, and again,
you've got legs.
They've been getting into the paint and kicking it out for threes. This was a great finish here. What can USA do differently in these scrambles? Close out and don't let the dribble get middle. Really good possession there with teamwork and spacing from Greece.
So good answer, and right with the USA now going to talk things over. So I'm just going to throw this out there. I'm not sure if the USA is letting our microphone get close to the huddle like all the other teams in this World Cup, but I'm not sure if that's going to continue or special treatment, perhaps.
Well, I would love to hear Coach Kerr and his coaching staff handle their timeouts, because I know it would be outstanding. But it's definitely silent coming from the red, white, and blue right now.
Maybe the guy with the boom mic has had to go to the bathroom or something. But anyway, we are 4.5 minutes remaining. Halliburton sits down. We're going to get the starters back in. And you can see they've been working hard. And to be honest, I mean, that second unit really turned it up a notch.
And let's look at this. Their starting lineup is big and physical with Jaren Jackson Jr. And then that 2 games in a row, as he knocks in the free throw for the 3-point play. 2 games in a row, the switching unit, the smaller lineup has been super effective for USA.
Here goes Ingram, just in front of the stripe.
The one thing, Ingram can score, but you'd love him to be a little bit more physical.
That. Nice passing.
The old school give and go.
So Lucis, 4 points for him. Now Brunson, who started very well for the USA, back in the game. Passes to Bridges, who comes in from the baseline. Shot clock about to expire. Edwards, great recognition by Edwards to get that off, and now up to Lucis. Walk up, thought about it, now to Big Pop. Look at the bounce pass. Good basketball, talking about old school.
Greek pick and roll play. But again, let's go back. They attack the 5 in pick and roll. Bridges has to do a better job directing walk up. They got the switch and the give and go. That was a fantastic offensive possession.
Bridges open again, and Jackson is just relentless on the boards. And they call the foul on Jackson. Watch this. I thought
this is the switch, give and go. So walk up, well coached pass and cut in one motion. Here's this beautiful give and go. 2 great offensive possessions from the Greek team back to back.
And in it goes to Papagiannis. Great job, Jackson. Papagiannis over to Larentzakis for 3. It looks good, but it was long. And now Bridges looks up the floor. Over to Edwards. Brunson with the pump fake, but travels.
Jeff, you could almost see that coming, right? You could almost anticipate it. Coach Kerr working the officials, wanted to travel down the other end. What can USA work on in practice? They can use a crossover step after the shot fake. They can put the ball on the floor through their pivot. Again, as we said last game, countless players for years coming from the USA, adjusting to the FIBA game, spend some extra time after practice and work on their footwork to avoid the travels.
He was telling, he felt like that Greece had gotten away with a travel that wasn't called. Walk up. Papanikolaou entry. They swing it. They're passing it. Larentzakis. Brunson got his hands on it, knocked it away.
Great hustle.
Now Ant-Man. Into Brunson.
Ooh.
And he goes down hard. We've seen some hard spills in this World Cup.
What I love about that defensive possession, as you see him accept the contact and try to finish. Again, he's going straight up, trying to challenge.
There's no contact there.
I think he got him with a body on the way through.
Okay.
However, it's close to going vertical. But the United States defensive rotations are on another level from teams here. And you saw it when you have the rotations and forcing teams to make another play, make another play, make another play. There's a bobble, a loose ball, and then the center, Jaren Jackson Jr., diving on the floor. I mean, this is what it's going to take for USA to achieve their goals here in this tournament.
Larentzakis has to go out, and Antetokounmpo is coming back in. I don't know, Larentzakis has a cut or something that needs some treatment. Great start again for Brunson in this first half.
You love his game, and Jalen Brunson is built for the FIBA game.
You can see the treatment that Larentzakis needs, so assuming he'll go back in when he's available. Final 2 minutes, they get it to Big Papa. And just, instead of going up for the dunk, just turned and put up the little jump hook. He's raising eyebrows with his performance. Here's Ant-Man. Antetokounmpo tapping it over to his teammate. Well, Greece has kind of weathered the storm here a little bit. Got it back to 10. Pass back to Papagiannis. Papagiannis. I mean, he has really raised his game tonight.
Well, let's just say he's shown the ability to compete in that five-man matchup.
15 points for Papagiannis. Bridges. Look at Jackson. Nobody's going to get that rebound other than Jackson. He is incredible. The strength, and that comes as no surprise.
Well, this is what we see out of Lithuania from Valanciunas, just dominating the rim. And this is the old school coaching point from the NBA, as we see Papagiannis face up and bury the shot, playing with confidence, showing his best game. But defensively, you've got to clear the circle, block out, and clear that charge circle so that there's no offensive rebounders in there. Right at the rim, a player with the size and strength of Jackson Jr., he's so difficult to deal with.
Are you surprised he takes Papagiannis out with a minute to go?
Well, he's upset about what's happening on the defensive end, but he's helping him so much on the offensive end.
So Rakopoulos actually has 3 fouls. He's on the bench. That one escaped me. Walk up for 3, gets blocked, and he's going to get 3 free throws. And Mikal Bridges needs to be careful here. Doesn't want to remonstrate too much with the ref.
Jeff, that is a foul.
But so walks up to the line and misses the first free throw.
walk-up is so impressive. Playing under control, playing pick and roll, posting up.
Oh.
I mean, as I'm saying he's so impressive, he's rimmed out consecutive free throws, so everyone has something to work on.
Lefteris Bocoritas is going to come into the game for walk-up. And nobody's frustrated like him to miss those free throws. Just 1 of 3. And USA now have seen their lead cut back to 9. Bridges, and going for the block was Antetokounmpo. Just a sensational drive by Mikal Bridges. Lutzis. And Edwards takes it away.
Great recognition here, playing for the last shot. Ghost screen.
Up 11. It's go time. He gets in, and a blocking foul. 2 free throws awarded.
Jeff, how do you keep him out of the paint? Look, 5 Greek guys right around him, trying to challenge, trying to compete.
Looked like Lutzis was in the semicircle.
Yeah. Take a look.
No, this is Bridges on his drive.
What a finish.
1.2 seconds left. Speed, power, grace, panache. What else?
Multiple efforts.
Strength, length.
Intelligence, teamwork.
And Lutzis gets it off just in time. Oh, I don't know if that would have counted. Good attempt, though, by Lutzis. But America, even if they are having to struggle a little bit against Greece, and certainly Greece are having to struggle against USA. USA lead at 50-37. Those are the numbers.
18 for 18 from the free throw line. That is a sign of a team concentrated and focused.
18 of 18. That's incredible.
Rebounds, 20-13. Athletic advantage and hard work for USA.
If you're shooting 100% from the line, that bodes well. Papagiannis, though, sensational with 15 points. Brunson had just a very fast start in the first half. But props to the second unit from the USA. That's where they really started to create some separation.
Bench scoring 21-10 at halftime.
Walk up and Banchero, we highlighted them as key players, and I think they've lived up to the hype, lived up to the promotion. 7 points for Walk Up, 6 assists, and 6 points for Banchero, 3 rebounds, and 1 assist. And let's don't forget about his blocking ability as well, ability to swat some shots. He doesn't actually have credit for a block because they called a foul, but in that second quarter, USA outscored Greece 27-18. This was the steal, and then he finishes it at the other end. So the steal from Reeves and then the finish. And that's your favorite player from the first half, Hart.
I really am impressed with Hart, and that was one of my favorite plays, just because he doesn't get a lot of attention, and he's doing the dirty work for Team USA.
Look at Reeves with his ability, and Mikal Bridges with the beneficiary, getting the open jumper.
Love it. Love it. There's been some highlights for Greece in this first half.
Two of Papagiannis' 15 points. So a lot to cheer about for Greece, but their team is losing 50-37 to the USA at halftime.
Whatever our gender, color, belief, or capability, we are all on the same team.
We have the power to change lives through basketball.
Together, we are stronger. No matter your origin, basketball can bring everyone together. Basketball for good.
Fournier, oh, dumping down low, and how about that? And one by Rusele. And Latvia just not ready to defend the out-of-bounds play.
That's all it was.
Shot clock. How about that? What a game that man is having for Latvia. Number 55. Shot clock. Game clock, I should say. Tough shot. He gets it up, and it's good! As he is going to put France up 33-26 after 10. How about that?
And Lebanon in the first game, and it is through their defense, their offensive rebound, and all those things.
Welcome to the world, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. How easy does he make it look?
Too easy.
Mills, looking for some help?
Give me a spell.
Wow.
Give me a spell!
He's got 13!
My goodness! Oh, hello.
Good night.
Great pass. It's an easy pass, I guess, when you've got a guy like Markkanen with his size.
Kawamura shakes again, this time Kantuni, and he makes it in his eye! Japan, a 4-point lead, and this guy's got ice in his veins.
Oh, pump fakes the pass, goes in. Has to go for the tip in. No good. Now Angola can push this. Down 5 feet off Fernando and Boa Noche. Good night. Fernando with no regard for the transition defense.
That was a vicious finish there from Fernando.
Oh, RJ Barrett!
Haydar stayed down after that. You got a picture of him there, like he sort of rolled it.
Backdoor feed, Giddy. That shot always 100%.
That was true Tiemann who went up with Giddy, and Giddy was still able to knock it down.
Away in the flush. That is unbelievable.
These guys will be legends in their own country, but also in the international basketball world forever.
Well, Jalen Brunson with 8 points, for the USA, leading their balanced attack, and no surprise, I guess. I mean, does it really matter? I mean, they've got so many good players. I guess we're going to have multiple scoring leaders over the course of time.
It's going to be a different player every game, depending on matchups and situation. But the talent and depth of the USA team is impressive, and it will be key as this tournament moves on.
But he came out with a steely confidence and determination tonight. Look at where he's getting his buckets.
Jeff, there's no red. There's no red on this shot chart.
Which means he's not missing. And Papagiannis has certainly been on his game tonight. 15 points, 6 of 9 boards, I think. Or sorry, 6 of 9 inside the arc. I think maybe his coach is getting on him a little bit from a rebounding standpoint. He's only got 2.
And the key is he has 2 offensive rebounds, but no defensive rebounds. The defensive rebounds kill the possession. Those are the keys to help your team.
And he actually stepped outside and showed his range as well. So 15 points for Papagiannis. 2 misses in the paint, but
I mean, that's an impressive first half for the Greek big man.
You know, it's not having Motoglu obviously hurts Greece for the rest of the World Cup, but you just have to move on.
And in tonight's game, how do they get offense against the USA defense? When Jaren Jackson Jr. is on the floor, they can play pick and roll with the 1 and 5. They were effective. It got them some opportunities. But against the switching lineup, USA was outstanding defensively and made it really difficult for Greece to create easy baskets. 2 games in a row, Bancaro at the 5, and the switching lineup has really sparked this USA team. You know what I'm hoping for in the second half, Jeff?
Somebody comes by and takes your order and you get some popcorn.
I would love to visit a concession stand, but that's off the floor. On the floor, I would love to see Thanasis Antetokounmpo against Bobby Portis Jr. in a matchup so that we could get some bragging rights in the Milwaukee Bucks locker room.
Well, your wish is my command. I think we'll have it. There is the USA shooting numbers. There are the USA shooting numbers. They win this one, they'll have 1 more game left in Group C, going up against Jordan.
Jalen Brunson is built for the FIBA game. Why? He's physical, he's ball skilled. He can get into the paint, create shots for himself and for his teammates, and he's gonna work defensively on the ball. He's an excellent point guard for the FIBA style of play, and we also love the combination with Halliburton as well.
He's also built for any game, really.
Well, again, that versatility, it's because of the physicality and skill, that combination. If you have that combination, you can play in the NBA, you can play in FIBA, you can play on any court in the world.
So basically, Mike, you have to finish in the top 2 of the group. Now, when you coached Poland, you're in Beijing in 2019, and
yes.
You beat, was it China on opening night?
We beat Venezuela in the first game, in a tough game. And
China in the second
China
game.
In a historical game, and then Ivory Coast to go 3-0 in this first group stage.
So that helped a lot, because that meant going into the second group, the wins carried over, right?
Without a doubt.
And the wins against all the teams that advanced?
Yep.
Or the wins against,
all the games. So,
okay.
You know, at that point, the challenge for us was to play Russia, and that was a really hard-fought game. Russia tried to beat us up, and I was so proud about how our team responded to win and catapult us up into the top 8.
So the aim is, I mean, once you, obviously, it feels like in many respects you just can't afford to lose any games.
No, again, winning helps you, obviously. Doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that, but the tough thing about these tournaments are it's one game after another, and you've got to be able to respond, have a short memory. You have a successful game, then you got to be ready to compete the next one. You have a tough game, you got to be ready to bounce back. That's why I have so much respect for these players and coaches, because it's a grind and it's competition. You have to love to compete together. And again, the motivation to play for your country, it's really something special. All of these teams, all of these players.
Well, France found out to their detriment. It's very unusual for them, but because they were drawn in a group of death, they had to play one of the best teams in this competition, Canada, in their first game. And it was one-way traffic by the end. It was Canada rolling to a big bin, and then France dropped another one, so they're out of it.
It's all about matchups, and before you know it, you can end up in a really difficult situation like France. Canada is much like the USA. We'll get to that in a minute.
Hey, the difference is that we have missed 2 open looks and 3 free throws, and they make 3 transition 3-pointers. That's the difference. Tell you, man. Play normal game. We don't need heroism. We need the team game. So I'm not gonna make much. Let's play again the Fist 4. Push when we have action. Remember, Tanasi, again, you have to receive the ball here.
Well, that was a little better. We heard a little bit from the USA. Scan in the barcode to get the FIBA Basketball World Cup app in your smartphone. Something that you definitely need if you want to be following this great competition for all the news, stats, videos, you name it, it's got it.
Greece focused on a regular team game. They want to try to chip away at this game and this deficit. But to finish our thought before, Canada is much like the USA. NBA talent, deep bench, adjusting to the FIBA style.
So Larentzakis has his cut taped up. He's got the floor burn, started bleeding, so he's got to back in the game now. Papagiannis, game high 15 points right now, gets it deep. Will turn around, and Ingram rebounds and takes it up the floor. Edwards open, and the lead is 16.
Good spacing. Now look at this. Jaren Jackson Jr. matched up on Antetokounmpo to be a help side defender and shot blocker.
Papanikolaou, nice basketball for Greece. So cutting it back to a 13-point deficit. Here's Edwards. That's a tough assignment for Larentzakis.
Just physical spins to the rim and finishes. So Edwards is now guarding Papagiannis. They'll be able to switch to pick and roll, and they're not respecting Antetokounmpo's shooting, keeping Jackson in the paint.
Oh, and he went up for the dunk. So Antetokounmpo with his chance. There it is again.
Definitely a foul. You know, Jackson Jr., the shot blocker in the paint, has got to be the second to leave the floor. He was the first to leave the floor. Walk up, Crafty dropped it off. But again, look at the game plan adjustment from Coach Kerr and his staff. Adjusting creatively the matchup. Now you have Edwards guarding the 5 to take away the pick and roll, and they're taking advantage of Antetokounmpo's lack of shooting ability.
Papanikolaou sneaks in to get the rebound, or to steal it rather, from Ingram. Don't forget Papanikolaou played in the NBA. And Papagiannis, another miss for him. And Brunson comes up with the basketball. Here he goes, lays it up and in.
The crafty finish, shows the ball and extends to the right. Outstanding from Brunson.
10 points for Jalen Brunson.
There's the switch, pick and roll, guard to guard.
Antetokounmpo drives in and gets another trip to the free throw line.
And again, if you're playing this way, Jackson Jr., Jaren, just stay. Don't close him out. He's a non-shooter. Don't close him out. He drives right into you. Because you go to him, now he gets the angle to the basket.
So Jackson with the foul. That's his second. And a third straight miss for Antetokounmpo at the free throw line. And rims out. Shot clock violation. Wow. Is that the first time we've seen that from the USA?
Yes, it is. And let's give Greece credit. They were competing that possession. They really defended the initial action well, the high splits, and this extended the play. USA ran out of time. Great defensive work from Greece.
And Zakas gets open, a little runner. How about that from Giannis Zakas?
So again, you see now Greece puts Antetokounmpo in the pick and roll, and because Jackson Jr. is in the drop, they get an easy 2. Good adjustment from Coach Atudis.
Ingram in the corner. Oh, what a pass that was. Skip pass over to Bridges, who looked like he maybe got away with a push there. Cleared some space. Walk up, that's short.
But again, you like the adjustment from Coach Atudis in Greece. They quickly, after 1 or 2 possessions, recognized, all right, now to continue to attack Jaren Jackson Jr. in the pick and roll, we've now got to use Antetokounmpo. Walk up, came into the lane, got the shot. He's just got to finish the play.
Ingram fades, and Ingram takes it up to a 19-point USA advantage. And Brunson with a hold. So USA going to call timeout. Here's Ingram's shot. Let's go down and see if we can hear something from USA.
Yo, they get the spots a little quicker. That's it. That's it. That's it. Just pace. So don't worry about elbow stuff. Let's just go quick 77. Get the ball moving. And then down here, 3 stops in a row right now. 3 stops in a row right now. And we put him to sleep. Come on.
There you go, Mike. So there was no special treatment.
I love it.
The mic man was at the bathroom.
I love it. So T. Lou from the back talking through a defensive adjustment so they can get to the second side pick and roll that Greece went to there. But then Coach Kerr offensively looking for more pace. And when he said, get to your 77, a lot of times that's a double drag pick and roll from the top. So let's see if USA gets into it right now. Again, give Greece credit the last few defensive possessions, but now USA trying to turn up the pace to be harder to guard.
And Larzakis short. Papa Nicolau trying to stick with Ingram now. Jackson. And Jackson. Well, let's see who's the foul on here. Papagiannis. If it's on Papagiannis, it's his 3rd. So assuming he's going to stay in, and Lefteris, Bokoridis, Kavopoulos, who has 3 fouls, comes in. Papapetru also comes back into the game.
So now, Jeff, we've seen Greece continue to use the pick and roll attack. This is where you need to have a multi-dimensional offense. Maybe they try to post somebody up. Maybe they try to, create something differently here, some screening. But USA has adjusted well to these pick and rolls.
Bokaridis got in, look at him, and there was basket interference. They're going to count it, so there's no foul. So I'm not sure who gets the bucket.
It looks like Coach Kerr is trying to challenge.
Okay. So USA are going to challenge, what, the goal interference? But if he wins the challenge, the Greece were there for the putback, which they've waved off. Unless I'm looking at this wrong. Let's listen.
Here's the shot. And go back. He's palming, okay? Palming and leaving the ball, and then it's the contact, okay? So let's see which camera we have. Wait, this or this? This one, okay? Let's see this, okay? So this is the shot, the ball is out, and then it's a touch, okay? So this is the moment, the ball is in downward, it's going to the net, so the basket is valid, okay?
Because the ball is downward.
Yeah, the ball didn't touch the ring, and it's in the downward trajectory, okay? So we confirm the decision, 2 points, yeah? I will confirm. We confirm that decision is a basket. Basket, okay?
So yeah, so it was on the way down. It had yet to hit the rim as well. It was on the way down. It was over the cylinder.
First of all, it's amazing he
How high
blocked it on the way down from right over the rim. How do you do that?
Although he did catch Papagiannis in the head in the process. That wasn't called.
So, look, interesting challenge, interesting play. At the end, again, we see the officials go to the table and get the call right. Well done.
But were you surprised? Well, I guess that doesn't really matter when they're going to have the challenge. Edwards comes out, knocks down another jumper for the USA.
The combination of athleticism and touch is something special.
Papagiannis scores in the lane.
And again, I like it. They're doing something other than pick and roll.
Yeah.
They go into the post. Good adjustment from Coach Atudis.
Papa Petru, excuse me, not Papagiannis. Here is the drive, and look at Hart go up and get the basketball. Brunson. Wow.
So Hart grabs the offensive rebound and then makes the consecutive pass, the extra pass to the open shooter Brunson. I mean, Josh Hart, completely underrated for Team USA here.
So Bocaritas gets to the line.
Again, we've seen some great adjustments here from both coaches in this third quarter. Even though Brunson gets called for the foul, like, he didn't give an inch.
Right.
Physical, low post defense from your point guard. Not backing down. Jalen Brunson, excellent for the FIBA game.
There he is. And he is pushed by Bocaritas.
So, Jeff, this is one of the advantages for USA. You have Brunson and Bridges. They've done really well on both ends. And now your subs, Halliburton and Reeves. Bench points today, actually 21-16, so give Greece credit. They're competing with their depth.
So up 20. Edwards. And Bocaritas stepped in too late.
So, Jeff, this is an example of the difference between NBA and FIBA. Edwards beats his man in the corner in the NBA. The floor is spaced. Now he beats his man, and there's second defenders help at the rim. And not only are they there, they're physical. They're giving up their body. So this is one of the key adjustments for these NBA-style players coming over in the FIBA game, understanding once you beat your man.
Grant Hill here watching, of course, the general manager for USA.
And Jeff, 22 for 22 from the free throw line for USA today. A sign of focus and concentration.
And good free throw shooting. Nice form. Walk up, nice pass. Kavopoulos goes up, and that also, the ball, they're saying the ball already off the backboard. Let's have a look.
Great call. You know, so impressive for these officials to see that live.
They don't have the replays that we've got.
It's impressive.
Here is the rebound, Kavopoulos. Hatzidakis. And a foul trying to get position on Hatzidakis.
You know, Jeff, one thing players like to do is they try to draw fouls from officials in contact situations by hooking their opponent's arms. And this is what we have here. And that makes it officiating tough. Who's grabbing who? So that's a really good call for these officials here.
Well, Portis is in. It'd be nice to see Antetokounmpo check back in, but I'm not sure they're going to be listening to us. Here goes Banchero. So 2 quick fouls on Hatzidakis.
The ball skills for Banchero are so impressive. All USA has to do is space the floor, spread out, and here is your 5-man going one-on-one. And that's really difficult for most bigs to guard. That.
What happened? You know what that is?
The commentator's curse, the commentator's jinx.
Well, I was just saying it's the first time they've missed.
Oh.
But if you did put the curse on him,
I hope
if you're
not.
willing to claim it.
I think it was one of the fans behind the backboard.
It was
distracting the shooter.
Rakavopoulos into the paint. Gets it back. Nope, he doesn't. Hart's too quick to the ball. Here's Reeves. And he is fouled by Bocaridis.
It's amazing to watch USA, the pace and transition, and the guys running without the ball, their eyes are lighting up. They want that lob. Look at Hart here, loose ball, and now Reeves is trying to see, hey, do I throw that lob? He makes the choice to finish, draws the foul.
But the key is how Hart beats everybody to the ball.
So this
the loose
is
ball, the rebound,
the
whatever.
50-50 loose ball, 50-50 loose ball rebound. This is one of USA's advantages, the athleticism to rebound out of your area, to rotate and get those loose balls.
Hart has 7 rebounds. Moraitis' pass picked up by Rakavopoulos. And that's a high arcing layup that was out of the reach of Banchero.
Great finish.
And good read by Rakavopoulos. Moraitis at the elbow, knocks it down.
Excellent work there. Back-to-back possessions for Greece. Put some plays together here, fellas.
Reeves from deep. Wow. He's a star. That's why he earns the big money. He can pretty much excel in every aspect of this game.
They draw the switch. Here's Hart in the low post, one-on-one.
High arcing shot. What a shot from Papa Petru, the captain.
Papa Petru stepping up. That's a beautiful play.
Three-pointer, and Halliburton, a little short. 11 minutes remaining in the game. Just a little over. Moraitis again loses his handle.
Coach Kerr stands up to call a play. He wants to get a little more teamwork on the offensive end here.
Banchero from up high. And look at that. Can you believe it? Look who comes up with it. Hart.
When you play hard, good things happen. When you play hard, the ball bounces your way. And we've seen fantastic effort from Josh Hart tonight.
Yep. And when Steve Kerr plays Hart, he knows he's going to get a lot of balls. Papa Petru missing it from three-point range. So Reeves will hold it for one.
Good floor spacing here from USA. Greece shrinking the floor.
Greece over the limit, so they don't want to foul. No look pass to Banchero. And sure enough, Hatzidakis is whistled for a foul. 2.8 seconds.
So after the switch, Banchero tried to post up at the nail for a split second and then slipped the rim. Beautiful no-look pass from Reeves. Banchero. Take a look here. There's the foul. 25 for 26 to this point. The only miss was from Bancaro. Let's see if he can make up for it. Rattles it in.
Edwards and Brunson each with 13 points, leading the way. Bancaro now has 8 points. Jackson has 9, 11 for Austin Reeves, 9 for Bridges. That's what I call a balanced scoring attack. He does miss the second. They've got to hustle. And Hatzidakis gets it off in time, but wasn't close. So the USA in control with 10 minutes remaining here in this battle for first place in Group C at the FIBA Basketball World Cup. They lead it 79-56 at the end of 3.
So again, look at the free throw disparity, 26 for 28, 5 for 12, and you ask, why does that happen? This is part of the athletic advantage and pace and aggressive play of the United States.
Well, the way they're playing right now, the USA, it's hard to see anybody beating them. I'm guessing that Canada, looking down the road, potentially Spain, Germany, there's still hurdles that they're going to have to clear, but yeah. I'd say so far they're on track.
They're doing a great job growing game by game. You're getting a lot of contributions from many of the players, but Jeff, I just want to say, you know, coaches are watching these games and they're putting together game plans, and there's some great coaches in this tournament. For me, you need that low post presence to score on the block and control the tempo and keep USA out of transition.
But the question is, can you score on the low block against the USA? Because we haven't seen it so far.
We will as the competition goes on. You could also see a team that can match them athlete for athlete, like Canada competing, taking away some easy shots.
Some of the local, or some of the personalities in the Philippines here sitting courtside right in front of us. Good seats.
And I'm still waiting for the Antetokounmpo-Portis Jr. matchup. All of the Milwaukee Bucks fans in Wisconsin are waiting for that matchup.
That's right. Fourth quarter is underway for the USA, who have Hart, Halliburton, Bancaro, Reeves, and Porter in the game. Porter comes up and scores.
So Greece comes out in a matchup zone. They throw it into post. Portis, easy two.
Bobby Portis hasn't played that much. And now he gets a rebound. Here he is from deep. Hatzidakis trying to post up. Passes it back out. Kavapoulos. Reeves open.
Josh Hart.
That feels like a rare miss. And yeah, Hart is just, if there's a rebound to be had, and Hart is on the court along with, look at that, 9 rebounds. He's leading. He's got a game-high 9 rebounds. I mean, nobody else is even close. Moraitis goes out, and Hart has played 13 minutes. So the foul called.
So one thing that the USA does very well is play off the catch. We saw Reeves catch it and quickly attack. This gives them the advantage in a one-on-one situation against the Greek defender.
And that was a turnover, a rare turnover for the USA. Kavapoulos gets it up and in.
Excellent finish.
Bocaritas guarding Reeves. He goes right past him. Is he expecting help to come?
He must have been, but again, Reeves, outstanding one-on-one, gets to where he wants to go with a dribble and has the skill to score.
Bocaritas steps back, and three-pointer is good.
Look at the pace here. Look at the pace.
Portis. And the foul. Demetrius Statoudas not happy. And Antetokounmpo at least is going to come back in for those Milwaukee Bucks fans watching the game. Here is the Bocaritas three-pointer. 22-point lead for the USA.
And now, Coach Kerr subs out Bancaro, so Portis is at a 5, and we're setting it up. Antetokounmpo is at a 5.
And we're doing that just for your viewing
no,
pleasure.
No, not for me, but this is...
No, I mean for the people that are watching.
There you go. This is a storyline for bragging rights in the Bucks locker room. Let's see these last 8 minutes, who gets the better of this one-on-one matchup here.
Well, Portis has looked like a man possessed since he checked into the game. Wide eyes, makes both. And they are definitely guarding each other. Oh, Antetokounmpo over to Rokovopoulos for 3! There's Cam Johnson. And Reeves has the ball fumbled away, a chance to break. And Papanikolaou, Rokovopoulos though to pick up the mess. Nice play. Maybe a couple of turnovers for the USA. Here's Johnson on the break. Oh yes. Go Heels.
But it's so much easier for USA to score at pace, at tempo. They'll play that pace. Greece made back-to-back nice plays. USA just keep running it at them. You see Portis in the drop pick and roll coverage.
Rokovopoulos fouled as he puts up the shot on Reeves. He's going to come up and try to talk the referee out of it, but it never works.
So again, take a look. The wide pin, Portis in the paint, not contesting.
He's got his hands on him as he goes up.
Yeah,
so.
That's a foul.
Yeah.
Jeff, it's a foul. So again, you've got to stay connected and knife through there or whip it, go underneath, be ready to contest. But this is the other lineup would switch some of these screens and have coverage. So now, if you're Coach Atudas, you know you can get shots for your players in a pick and roll situation or a pin down situation like that.
Is that modern Greek dress that guy's wearing in the stands? Have you got one of those?
I do not have a dress, Jeff.
I meant attire.
Oh.
And 2 out of 3 for Rokovopoulos. So back to a 20-point game with 7 minutes remaining. Bocaritas getting up on Portis. Here's Reeves, pulls up, missing. Oh. Antetokounmpo did not want to settle. Oh, here he goes. And he had him right where he wanted him, but didn't score.
He did, and he'll hear about that throughout the year when he's up visiting his brother.
Oh. Wow.
Jeff, it's almost like, hey, kick it to the corner, but the Euro step.
I know, and he's not the Euro. What's going on with that?
Unbelievable.
Although he does have some German ancestry, apparently.
Great footwork and finish.
Bocaritas over to Rokovopoulos.
Hey, he has stepped up in this fourth quarter.
Nice play. Here comes Reeves. Portis on the baseline. Well, I think the crowd is getting what they want. Reeves leading the way with 15 points. Who's been the best player for the USA tonight? That's a great question.
Well, I'm
going with Hart.
I am too. The blue collar, dirty work.
Yeah.
Toughness, extra effort, team plays. To me, he's the connector, he's the hard work.
It's a tie game, so let's win the quarter. Still, we have some objective targets, okay? Or we have 2 up. We're 2 up. We're 2 up. It's an objective target. Let's win it. First of all, maybe it's going to be a zone press, so I need Michalis, Lefteris, and Rog over here to help to break it. Offensively, listen, how are we going to play? Thanasi. Forget about Thanasi. Papanikolaou is over here as a 4. Watch. You're going to bring it over here. This is Mike. You're going and you scream.
Here's a look at what Jalen Brunson has done tonight. He came out with the right attitude, and basically watching Brunson play early was kind of the indicator that, yeah, this was not going to be a good night for Greece against the USA.
Well, there's so many ways these players can impact the game, and someone's going to step up. I just love the teamwork and the effort from this USA team, 2 games in a row.
And the swat from Walker Kessler. He runs the floor over to Cam Johnson, and Johnson doesn't get the drop. Austin Reeves, another rebound. He drives in, hesitates, and oh, ball goes to Cam Johnson. And the foul's called on Luntsis, so Cam Johnson's going to the free throw line.
Cam Johnson drew the contact and just immediately got the shot up.
Look at this was the swat by Kessler. He's got quite a few in the NBA, hasn't he already?
He is a rim protector, but I loved his communication, calling the pick and roll coverage early, loud, continuous, makes the play from help side, the length and rim protection as the 3rd center on this team.
A 23-point lead. And Luntsis has the shot blocked by Walker. Walker Kessler, that is. Oh, and Luntsis loses his handle. Look at Reeves. And oh, behind the back pass. Showtime! Portis, Halliburton, and Reeves. And at the end, Portis. And that was one of the more dazzling moves that we've seen from the USA at this FIBA Basketball World Cup.
Offense from your defense and teamwork in transition. You have to love that play.
We're not this team. We're not this team. For next game. Let's pass to you, of course. Move the fucking ball, man. Don't ball. Go. One side push. But hand off, turn, wait. Τώρα μπήκε ο Λάρη, άστον εδώ στη γωνία, οπότε εδώ είμαστε, κάνουμε dive και εδώ pin away. Εντάξει, και ο Λάρη είναι εδώ να κάνει lift.
1, 2, 3. Well, Austin Reeves has been dazzling with his passing and shooting, dribbling, getting up the floor. Got different players doing different things tonight. And he's Mr. Showtime.
Mr. Showtime.
Cam Johnson fouls Rokovopoulos. There's Halliburton again on the break. Portis to Johnson. And moving screen on Walker Kessler.
Walker Kessler had the idea to flip sides of the screen rather than screening Halliburton inside. He wanted to set an outside step up, and he got caught in between.
Lutzis from deep. Under 4 minutes remaining. And three-point shot is made by Cam Johnson.
And Johnson will get the three, but Walker Kessler got him open by sprinting the floor to the rim, attracting the defense, and a three.
Oh, Johnson with the steal. Gives it back to Halliburton.
Cam Johnson, outstanding defense. Position discipline right to him.
And oh, finally! Antetokounmpo has something that he can brag about in the Bucks locker room. Oh, and the putback from Walker Kessler. This is just an awesome array of talent assembled before us.
We are seeing some exciting plays.
Zakis fouled while making the jumper.
Great job stepping into that shot with confidence. On the rear view contest, he's hit by Halliburton.
This was Antetokounmpo's flush. And he did it with Walker Kessler there, so that's pretty impressive.
Very impressive.
Zakis, meanwhile, gets the old-fashioned three-point play. 103-76. Well, they've come, they've seen, and they're in the process right now of conquering, or is that a bit too hard right now?
They are conquering tonight's game.
You see what I did with that, right?
Yes.
Veni Vidi Vici.
Oh.
Save it for Italy. It's going to be...
So, Jeff...
So Portis shaking the low five with... so they're still going to be talking to each other after the game. Antetokounmpo.
Yeah. You know, 30 for 34 from the free throw line. Every team will take.
Yeah.
It's just been a big part. The fact that they get there, it's been a big part of their production today.
Oh, and Walker Kessler, we have been reminded tonight, is, I mean, that is literally, you know when they say he put it in row H? That was like sent off the court from Walker Kessler. That was a vicious swat.
I don't think the Greek team is used to playing against size and length and mobility like that.
So Papagiannis is going to come back into the game.
He looked like he was a little stiff running down the center of the floor.
That's not going to work in this game. Not in the last 2 minutes and 5 seconds. And Halliburton gets it. He's going to put it up, and away.
Josh Hart grabbing the deflected ball and the awareness to ball ahead for the easy dunk. He's done so many little things tonight.
And now it's Portis for the two. Bobby Portis Jr. hustling down the court. And Atutis calls timeout as the score starts to widen, as it so often does when the USA play in international competition, be it World Cups, Olympics. Let's go down to the bench.
Come here and reverse the ankle. We're going to play deep. So Thomas is running here. I got Rogavopoulos on the weak side, and you start from here as a whatever, like put out Rogavopoulos.
Well, USA running away here at the end. Portis, look at that. Two-handed jam on the break. And everybody on the USA bench celebrating as the USA close in on win number 2. And they're about to go back into first place in this group. And they will finish things up. In fact, they will clinch first place tonight because they've already, the only 2 teams that could catch them would be Greece, or tonight, before tonight, and New Zealand, who could get a couple wins. That's a nice shot. So yeah, even if Jordan were to win, they would go to 1 and 2. But the USA would have tiebreakers over both Greece and New Zealand.
Halliburton hoisted that one. He tried to get it into post to Portis Jr. He looked on the opposite side.
And I guess, Mike, really, you think about it, it's not too early to start looking ahead to a vital game between Greece and New Zealand.
Huh.
There is Walkup. And can Greece draw some encouragement from this performance before they face New Zealand?
Well, yeah. They're not going to face a lineup like this against New Zealand.
So just as a reminder, you need to finish in the top 2 of the group to advance to the second round, and then you'll cross over with Group D, which has Montenegro and Lithuania, which...
I mean, those are, let's say, really skilled and balanced European teams. So that's the next challenge for the USA.
Here is Rogavopoulos. So the big game for Greece now is going to be New Zealand. New Zealand, I don't know if they're here watching this game. But also I think New Zealand probably have to draw some encouragement from how they played against the USA. So it's going to be interesting. There's the turn and the bucket, and the USA go up to 109 points now. So the final seconds ticking off the clock. Lefteris, Bocarides. And he's got so much potential, doesn't he? I like Bocarides.
Yeah, he's shown some signs today.
109-81, and USA go to 2-0, beating Greece for the second time this summer, but for the first time in the FIBA Basketball World Cup here 2023. 109-81, USA rolled to victory over Greece. Well, what you see, you like from the USA, and we did see some good things from Greece as well. I mean, it's a tall order against this USA team. They're hungry, they're focused, they're getting better.
And I think that they have now, after 2 games, sent a message to everyone, hey, we're here to challenge for, you know,
the thing is, Mike, you want to talk about 1 or 2 players for the USA, but the reality is, you have to talk about all of them because there's not a weakness in this team.
And, you know, they've talked a lot about there's no egos. They're really together. Guys are playing for each other, and you can visibly see it. You know, I've loved the way USA has presented themselves these first 2 games. They've shown tremendous potential, and they're growing into the FIBA experienced team. But that's a credit to Coach Kerr and this outstanding coaching staff. They've got these guys, the structure's in place, the roles are in place, and the team is really buying in.
They've come out focused. They, you know, and don't forget, I mean, these guys, I mean, one step at a time, but these guys want to be a part of this USA program for a long time. And we all know they're also going to be putting a lot of players putting their hands up to play next year as well at Paris. So this USA team comes out, and it's, well, look at the numbers, just domination. In the end, 7 threes for Greece, but look at the free throws, 30 of 34, that was a big difference.
Yep, rebounds.
9 more assists, 15 more rebounds. Greece, 1 more turnover. And I'm curious to see who's going to get the TCL MVP award tonight, because it's interesting when you think about it. Hart, for example, had 11 rebounds, more than twice as many as any other player, and he was so crucial in those crucial moments of the game. But it could go to anybody.
It could go anywhere.
Portis, you watch Portis play as well. You watch Portis play as well, and you're like, why does it take so long for him to get into the game? Because he is so good.
Yeah.
To bring him off the bench when they do, that is such a weapon.
Yeah, and he can really score in the post, defend.
So another highlight here. Rakavopoulos comes out of this game with some credit. He had 14 points, 17 for Big Papa Papagiannis, who led them in scoring, but Rakavopoulos was the player who got it working easily, or really got it going in the second half. But for the USA, they had so many players get it going. Reeves with a team high 15 points, 13 apiece for Brunson and Edwards, 10 for Portis coming into the game late, 9 apiece for Bridges and Halliburton. And
Jeff, everyone scored, 26 assists to 11 turnovers. Again, just a really, really good team performance for USA in their second game here in Manila.
Even Kessler comes off the bench late and blocks. He got 2 blocks. I thought he had 3, but he sent one of them out of the arena down the street.
He sent it to the Mall of Asia.
He sent it into the Bay. The Mall of Asia has watched 2 awesome games involving the USA, and as well as going up against New Zealand, against Greece tonight. And what a day it's been. We watched an incredible first game that went to overtime. So the Mall of Asia crowd, as they try to sneak a peek at all the players before they leave this arena. You can see up on the scoreboard, 109-81. So earlier today, New Zealand winning it 95-87 over Jordan, and USA winning it 109-81 over Greece. So the USA go to the top at 2-0. They clinch first place in the group, followed by Greece and New Zealand. So Greece and New Zealand are going to trade blows in a couple of days. Well, 2006 was a long time ago when Greece beat the USA. New players involved, an incredible attitude being displayed by the Americans. The big question is, can anybody stop them on their march here in the Philippines?